Hey yo, what is good, y'all? I'm Malcolm McFadden, creator of 615 Comics, and you are watching the Yo a Nerd podcast, and this is episode five time. This is episode number 5 of the Yo a Nerd podcast, and I'd like to thank y'all for watching. Before we get into this episode, and I got a great episode for y'all, got some good topics. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and please comment in the section, bro. I'll be talking about a lot of different things that I definitely want y'all to talk about in the comments. I want to talk to y'all about in the comments, so please hit up the comments and let me know what y'all think about some of these topics. All right, let's just get straight into it, bro. So first and foremost, we're going to start this off with an Ironheart review. This is a spoiler review. I'm going to give my honest review of the series, of the first 3 episodes actually, but this is for Ironheart. So if you have not watched it and you do not want to be spoiled, please pause this video, go watch the first 3 episodes, come back, unpause, like, subscribe, and comment, all right? Because we're going to talk about Ironheart today. So first, I'm going to give y'all my review, my numbers for the first 3 episodes. And I do mine in dopes. I'm going to do mine in dopes. I give this one a good 7 out of 10 dopes. 7 out of 10 dopes. This is a 7 out of 10 show. It's the first 3 episodes. I actually really enjoyed it. I actually think this is, I said before the show came out, that this from the trailer looks like to be one of the best Disney Plus series that we've gotten. And I think it's definitely up there with some of the best. All right. It's definitely better than some of the bad ones that we got. But Ironheart, in case you don't know, Ironheart is a series about this girl, Riri Williams. You saw she made her debut in the Wakanda Forever movie, where she was making a machine that could detect vibranium, and everybody was after her for that. So now in this show, we come to her show where she is back in Chicago, living out her life after going to MIT and everything. So the show kind of starts off a little bit after Wakanda Forever. And also, if you don't know who Riri Williams is already, just as a character, her name is Ironheart. She was a character introduced by Michael Bendis. I think that's how you say his name. He also created Miles Morales, but he created Ironheart, who basically was like a genius level girl who was genius from the jump. Like, she'd been a genius her whole life. I believe she graduated college at like 15 or something like that. So Riri, a lot of people see her as successor to Tony Stark. She's kind of really her own character with kind of a lot of similarities to Tony Stark, and kind of walks in the same footsteps of Tony Stark, but she's still her own character. But in this show, we go on to her having trouble at MIT. That's kind of where the show starts. And that was one thing I thought was really dope, because that's kind of how the comic starts. Her comic, the Eve Ewing run, which is her definitive run by Ironheart, which is, you should definitely check out. In that run, is that also the most, to me, authentic. It's really feels like Eve Ewing really got into the character. And also her being from Chicago and Riri being from Chicago, the writer was really able to dive into it. But in the comics, she starts off at MIT, and like there's people in her lab, you know, they're all up in her way. Like, her lab is kind of dangerous, and like she just wasn't feeling it. Like, it caused, like, she starts off with just really feeling at odds with like the people at the campus and stuff like that. And in the show, we see her actually get expelled from MIT for trying to recreate the suit that she made in Wakanda Forever. So that was a similarity that I really liked. In the comics, she didn't get kicked out of school, but she was having troubles at school, which kind of led to her going home. And then in the series, she ends up going home. And actually, the first episode ends like the very first issue of Eve Ewing's run. In the first episode, we see her working on her AI, and her AI finally comes out as her friend who is dead, Natalie. That also happens in the comic book. The way the first episode ends is literally how the comic book ends. You feel me? So that was really dope to see. But the show, the stuff I really liked about the show is that they took a bit from the comics. They took a lot from the comics to like make up their own story, which is cool. I kind of wish the story was more so like the comics, which is one of the reasons I couldn't give it like a perfect score. But it still did a good job of taking from the comics and still making its own story, right? So that was one thing I loved. I also loved that it didn't take her the whole season to get her suit, you feel me? It was like, by episode 2, she was flying around in her suit, you feel me? So I love that it didn't take her long to get her suit. I love that they're showing Riri as the genius, showing her how she's using her genius, even if it's not in the best way right now. which I'll talk about that in a little bit. But I think they really did a good job of building her character, showing who her character is in this show, and showing her backstory, and things that kind of lead to her becoming who she is now and who she will be in the future. I think also the show does a great job with each of the characters. Like in the show, she kind of joins up like in this heist, in like this like GTA type heist group, right? And then so each character in the heist group, I think, has like their own personality. Even the ones that don't have a crazy amount of personality, they still show their personality. I think in each character got a time to shine. Now, even out of the heist group, like even Riri's mom, you got to see how she was, and she shined. Riri, Natalie, even the guy that lives next door, the one with the Marvin Gaye hat on, and even him. Like they show everybody had, even the little kid that had the cart. Like it showed everybody real personalities and show how colorful the characters are. Like all these characters that are real colorful characters, not really doll characters. There's not too many doll characters in the show. I would kind of see like the mom is kind of a doll character, but maybe she doesn't get enough screen time. But there's not too many doll characters in the show. I think each of these characters is really good, and they shine when they're on screen with their personalities, which is one thing I really like. And that's sometimes hard to do when you have a lot of characters and, giving them some shine, especially if they don't have a lot of screen time, right? But I think the characters are nice. I think one of some of the things I don't like, I've seen a lot of other people talk about, is like, why is Riri really financially not stable? Why is she not financially stable when she's a genius? She was at MIT. She also would just helped the Wakandans. Like, why aren't they helping her? And I get those sentiments. I think the same thing. But when I thought about it, I kind of came up to the conclusion, like, how really is she going to get help? Like the Wakandans is a nation that kind of just stayed to themselves for the longest time. Like, you feel me? And they only really helped her out of, they needed her at that time. You feel me? Like the things that were going on equated to her. So like, then of course she helped her, but how is she going to get in touch with Shuri, who's kind of doing her own thing, not trying to be the leader of Wakanda, seems like she's trying to find herself after Wakanda Forever. And who else is going to help her? And M'Baku, like, who else is going to help her from Wakanda? So I can see why she's not financially stable right now, if you get what I'm saying. Also, people are pointing out, people are saying this is one thing I hate about the series, that we get a lot of racist people, a lot of people that just want to hate on the series just because people mad at her because they're saying she's a criminal, right? They're saying that she is doing some morally wrong things, right? And for me, I like that. I've seen another creator say that he likes when heroes toe the line between the good thing, making sense between doing something right and doing something bad. I love that. I think it makes for a great story, better writing, more realistic writing, you feel me? I love that. And then also, I think it's dumb that people are saying this, like when nobody said that about Ant-Man. Tony Stark isn't the best of people, you feel me? Nobody said anything about Winter Soldier. Like people wanted Winter Soldier to be the next Captain America when he is literally a terrorist. Like he was a terrorist on the run, and people wanted him to be the next Captain America. But we all know why they hold this standard for other characters they don't hold for Riri. We know why. We don't even have to say it. We know why. But in the midst of this whole show, it's up to number one on Disney. Like I've seen people have been review bombing it. People have been just saying whatever. There's this group called Neurotic, whatever their name is. This is this group of racists. It seemed like a group of just racist people that gave like their review of Riri, and they literally could not give any review. Everything they said had a racist tone to it, had a racist statement in it. Like, oh, I know this is going to be about a black person because it has hip hop in it. Anybody that watched this show deserve reparations. You feel me? Like they kept saying stuff like that, and that shit just made me so mad. But it made me feel better seeing the praise it was getting. The blurs and the nerds really were out there doing more promotion than Disney was for this series. So the first 3 episodes were actually pretty good. We'll get into my rankings of that with the other Disney Plus show, but this show was really good. It seemed really grounded in the character itself, like the comic book character. Like I know it's its own storyline. The villains, the hood, man, the mystery behind the hood is good. Like it's a very compelling series, and right now it's good. Marvel has a way of just making about ending bad. Secret Invasion started off good and ended bad, but I think from this series we'll have a good ending. But I'm also worried about the ending. I'm worried because there's only 3 more episodes left, and I don't know how much further you're going to go. And then the way Disney has treated this series, I don't know if there will be a season 2. I don't know if there will be a continuation for Riri with how they have handled this series. So I just don't. I don't know what they're gonna. I know the season seems like it has to end on a cliffhanger. It's only 3 more episodes. Only 6 episodes, so it has to end on some type of cliffhanger. And I don't know if we'll ever see more of that. You feel me? Shang-Chi ended on cliffhanger. We haven't seen that man since. You feel me? So, and they treated that way better than they promoted that way more than they promoted Riri. So, hey, I'm nervous. I think the series will end off great, but I'm nervous for afterwards. You get what I'm saying? But full review, Ironheart was a really good series, very interesting, very grounded in the character. Kind of from the vibes of it, kind of feels like how they handled the Luke Cage series. I know these are 2 black characters, but they kind of really rooted in their community and where they're from. You feel me? And that's really dope, and that contributes to their storylines of where they go in the future. So it really gives me like Luke Cage type feels to it. So definitely check out Ironheart. The first 3 episodes are out, and I think in a few weeks the next 3 episodes will be out. But Ironheart, man, 7 out of 10, good start. I love it. Shouts to the Blurds for really promoting the show better than Disney. We should get a check. You feel me? But Ironheart, 7 out of 10 dupes. I'm telling you, 7 out of 10 dupes. It was fire. So and definitely this Ironheart conversation segues me. Why can I say that word right? Segues me into my next topic. So let's get into the Blade topic. Let's get into Blade, since I didn't even want to do this. But so the actor for Blade, Marshall Ali, I could be saying that wrong. While I'm talking to y'all, I'm gonna look it up and see, but I could be saying that wrong. But they were talking to him on the red carpet. All right. They were talking to him on the red carpet, and of course they asked him about Blade. All right. Mahershala Ali. I hope I'm saying that right. We all know him. He's a great actor. He was in that movie Leave It All Behind on Netflix. That was fire. He's in the new Jurassic Park, which I gotta see. But they asked him on the red carpet about the Blade series. And he basically said, I'm ready. Let them know when they ready, I'm ready. And I hated that answer. That means that he doesn't even know where it's going. He doesn't know if it's going to continue. That Marvel doesn't know if it's continue. I think it really just got shadow canceled. Which is wild to me. How don't you know what to do with Blade? It is very simple. This man kills vampires. You don't need to get all intricate and crazy with Blade. Have this man with a sword and some guns, some silver, killing vampires, bro. It's not that hard. Have him hunting out in some European country or something like that. Where it's some place where it's mad gloomy and night is mostly night, and then vampires come out all the time because there's not a lot of sunlight or something like that. They even had a Sticky Fingers. Sticky Fingers played Blade in a Blade series. I think it was on Spike TV or something. They had a Blade series. There's 3 Blade movies that people love. Maybe they didn't love the last one. I did. But I feel like Blade is easy. Blade is probably the easiest character you have in the Marvel Universe to make a movie out of. Why do y'all not know what to do? We just had Sinners. That could have been a Blade movie. That could have literally been a Blade movie. You got to change a couple things, but that could have been a Blade movie. And then also the things I'm hearing about the Blade movie. I'm hearing that they were trying to make it more so about Blade's daughter, where he was a secondary character. I hear things like that. And then it tells me what are y'all doing with the Blade movie? These are all rumors. Yeah, we don't know if that's real for real, but what are we doing? It's Blade. You got a phenomenal actor to play Blade. Get him in it before he's too old to be Blade. Oh my God, bro. They make me so mad. One day we're going to have a conversation about how Disney Plus has treated their black characters. Not Disney Plus. The MCU has treated their black characters. We gonna have to talk about that one day, because this is just wild. I don't see how you can't get together a Blade movie. I don't see. I know things go into it, time, money, things like that, but the storyline and stuff like that shouldn't be a problem. I feel like storyline should never be a problem when it comes to comic book movies, because somebody already did the story for you. Just there. It's right there. It's right there to do it. There's so many Blade storylines that you can just do. Just take the comic and make it a movie. I'm not gonna go more into this Blade because I'm gonna get mad. But that's the news from Blade. We do not know where the Blade movie is. We don't know when it's coming out. We don't know if it's still even in production. All right. That is the bad Blade news. Okay. Let's get off this Blade topic. Let's go back to the Disney Plus topics, okay? So with the Ironheart series coming out, that got me thinking about the other Disney Plus series, of course, naturally. So I did a little ranking of, I guess, the top 10 of the Disney Plus shows. And disclaimer, I did not watch Loki and I did not watch Agatha. Those are two series I just wasn't interested in. I've been tired of Loki. Been tired of him back in the movie era. I was been tired of Loki. Agatha, I'm not gonna lie to you. I was mad they made Agatha and then we didn't get no Monica Rambeau content. Like, we got her in the Marvels movie. She's still a side character. That, like, you could have led this show up to Monica Rambeau easily getting her own show, which people said that she was supposed to, but since the Marvels failed, she doesn't get her show, which also leads me to talk about black characters, because why was her show dependent on the Marvels, which nobody probably was going to see anyway. But that's neither here nor there. So I didn't watch those shows, so we're going to rank all the other Disney Plus shows. But we're not talking about the Netflix shows, all right? We're going to add Daredevil in because that's a new Disney Plus show. But Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, we're not going to put those in it, okay? Let's start off. Number 10, I think the worst one, was Hawkeye. Hawkeye was bad, bro. Hawkeye just came and went. Nobody even really talked about it. It just really came and went. I don't even know if y'all remember that came out. Hawkeye, it was his daughter, not his daughter, New Girl was taking up the mantle of Hawkeye, basically. It's kind of just showing the new Hawkeye and kind of showing Hawkeye's Ronin there in a snap. This show was really more so like a Christmas special. It was literally like one of them Disney Christmas specials for like the Disney princesses and stuff, like just turned into a Marvel live action. Yeah, I wasn't for it. Like, I didn't like it. It really came and went. We don't even really talk about that show no more. All right, so that's number 10. Number 9, She-Hulk. All right, this may get people mad. I don't care what y'all say. I know a lot of people tried to jump out and defend She-Hulk. She-Hulk was bad. She-Hulk was trash, had bad CGI. The part of the show I was actually looking forward to, her in the courtroom. Every courtroom scene was trash. She was funny at times. Her character was funny. Some of the things she did was actually pretty funny. And the ending was trash. It was like y'all had this bad ending, and then y'all just... the ending was just bad. Like, I didn't like that, how like they had one ending and then they redid the ending. Like her breaking the fourth wall and all that. Like, the ending just was bad. I didn't like. Marvel just hasn't done nothing good with anything that has to do with the Hulk at all. Every scene that had the Hulk in it was basically bad. Him bringing his son back was bad. Like, and him bringing his son off screen was bad. Like, oh my God, just Hulk itself as a whole in the MCU has just been bad. And She-Hulk, you know what? Matter of fact, I put Hawkeye above She-Hulk just for all the Hulk stuff. Just not even She-Hulk's fault, just all the Hulk stuff in general make the whole thing just bad. Like, I'll put that as 10. Hawkeye gets number 9. But like, yeah, the show just was very bad. The highlight of me was Megan Thee Stallion. Seeing Megan Thee Stallion and her scene was pretty funny. But it's just like the rest of the show, like the Daredevil also in the show was pretty cool, but like wasn't really feeling his suit in the show, but that's neither here nor there. But it just, the show, like, I thought we was gonna get more of her in court defending like powerful people, like powerful like Marvel characters and stuff, but yeah, that kind of fell flat. So She-Hulk would be number 10 and Hawkeye would be number 9. Number 8, WandaVision. WandaVision easily. WandaVision, I did not like WandaVision. I think the creativity was cool, but I just didn't like the show. I definitely didn't like the ending. I didn't like how they used Quicksilver. He just got beat up mad quick without even using his speed powers. I didn't like they brought him in and it just was like a dick joke. I didn't like it. The ending kind of looked like Halloween Town, Revenge of Calabar's sister. Like, I didn't like that at all. Like, the show was cool with the creativity, and then it just fell flat once it ended. Like, also, I'm not, some of the sitcoms wasn't really for me, you feel me? My sitcoms are more so like Martin, Living Single, stuff like that. But you feel me, the show, but those sitcoms they didn't do nothing for me when they did those sitcoms, you feel me? Except for the Malcolm in the Middle one. That was my joke. But yeah, it just kind of fell flat for me. Yeah, it just wasn't anything. The show, I guess, wasn't in my realm of things that I like. So that was one thing. I think they could have expanded with a Monica Rambeau show instead of Agatha, and that also made me mad for obvious reasons. But yeah, I would say numbers 8 is definitely one. Number 7, which actually could be number 8. Though these two were interchangeable because the show was also trash. Moon Knight. Moon Knight, Moon Knight, Moon Knight. Oh my God. When the trailer came out and they had him like transform with like the wraps all around him, kind of like mummies, kind of bringing back to the Egyptians, that was fire. But the rest of the show just wasn't Moon Knight. It didn't seem like we were watching a Moon Knight show. It just seemed like y'all made some character if they put him in the Moon Knight's body. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? It's like y'all didn't want to give us the actual Moon Knight that we love, that y'all wanted to give us y'all version of Moon Knight. And it was like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? All right, so Moon Knight is number 7. Number 6, and this is kind of where we start getting into shows that I actually kind of like. I think those all were kind of just trash. Next, number 6 is Echo. Echo, I think, was a pretty good show. But the thing was, it's like, I liked it a little bit, but it wasn't too much over the fence for me. You feel me? I'm still kind of in the middle. It kind of just seemed more dull than anything. Maybe I gotta go back and watch it again, but Echo kind of just seemed more dull than anything. I wasn't really into. I can't say I didn't like it, but I can't say I fully liked it. You get what I'm saying? It's kind of mid. I don't want to say it's mid, but it's mid in terms of my liking. You get what I'm saying? So at 6, that's where I got Echo. Now let's get into the top 5s. Let's get into the top 5s, and this one is only in the top 5s because the start of it. All right. Secret Invasions. Secret Invasions, when that joint started, we was hooked. The dialogue, some of the dialogue that was going on, Sam Jack doing his thing. My girl from Game of Thrones was killing it. But the ending was trash. Like, also, Secret Invasion should not have been a show. If it had been a show, it should have been a show on a much bigger scale. Like, it should have been like a show. It should have been a movie that we just got as a show. You get what I'm saying? Like, why did you reduce Secret Invasions to what you reduced it to? Like, it started off so good, and it just ended so bad and abruptly, for real. Like, you could have did so much more with Secret Invasions. It's a Secret Invasions, bro. Like, this is Secret Invasions. It's the Skrulls. Like, I don't know, bro. It just, Secret Invasions, I liked it because it started off very good. Like, it literally, if it wasn't for the ending, it probably would have one of the best Disney Plus Marvel shows. Easily, but the ending just killed it. The ending just killed it. So that's at number 5. Number 4, this may be shocking. Miss Marvel, which possibly could be I'm gonna be honest, Miss Marvel may be the actual best Disney Plus show in terms of for the character and stuff like that. Like, I think it was a very, 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 very Miss Marvel show, whereas some of these other shows I don't think really inhabit the character like that. I don't really think they inhabit, like, I really don't think they take on the character, embody the characters, which is what I'm really trying to say. Which Miss Marvel, I think, does. I think they took some creative changes to her character. I think we all know that, like making her mutant and stuff like that, which I know people didn't agree with, and I also didn't like how her powers were and not more sort of stretchy powers. That was stupid. But the show itself, besides that, was very much Miss Marvel. Like, it was dope. I liked Miss Marvel show. I very much enjoyed it. Those little changes, I enjoyed it so much, those little changes actually didn't make me mad. So I think Miss Marvel, I have it at 4. Because just, my terms of liking, what I like and what I like to see, it wasn't the best, but I think it was the best show in terms of embodying the character and stuff like that. You feel me? So number 3, we're going to give it to the Falcon and Winter Soldier. I think the show was pretty good. I think it had the Winter Soldier movie feel. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't as good as the Winter Soldier. The Winter Soldier movie was fire. But it definitely was good. I think the showing between Falcon and the Winter Soldier was cool. Showing Falcon, working to become the Captain America by the end of the series, and seeing him stepping up, being a mantle. The Wakandans bringing a vibranium suit to help him out. I think that was pretty cool. I think the series as a whole was really good. And I think it had the most implications for the future I could be wrong. Maybe low-key had more implications. I think WandaVision also had to deal with stuff that's in the future, lead a lot of Easter eggs for the future. But I think so. What we're seeing now, we're seeing Bucky go to the Thunderbolts. We're seeing also what's the evil Captain America? Evil Captain America. Why am I forgetting his name? But evil Captain, jackass Captain America. Him going into the Thunderbolts. You seeing that? I think seeing Falcon step into his own movie. I think this show had a lot to do with the future of MCU. So I think that actually gets it up to 3. All right. 2. What If? What If is number 2 simply because the creativity and what they can do with What If. I think something like What If really is always good because like you're really allowed to be creative. There's things you can't do in the main world because of reasons, but you can do whatever you want with What If. And I think even if I don't like most of the episodes, some of the episodes I didn't like, I think they could have did a little bit more with What If, but What If is still so creative. Like it's still so creative in what you can do with it that I think What If is dope, but that's why it has to be number 2. And it's still a Disney Plus show, maybe not live action, but it's still a part of all this. So What If for me is number 2, creativity, bro. Like I just love that. Number 1, easily Daredevil. I think just man, how my man's embodies Kingpin. That alone, bro. Like we don't talk about his character as Kingpin enough. Like that's Kingpin. Like that joint is tough, bro. Like that's Kingpin. And I think them showing off White Tiger was fire. Them mentioning other vigilantes was fire. But bro, like Daredevil, I think is definitely dope. Even if I'm not including the other Daredevil show, this joint is still dope. You get what I'm saying? So this month, Daredevil was pretty much still fire. Keep it number 1 because Daredevil's one of my favorite heroes, so I'm a little biased, all right? But Daredevil is definitely number 1. I didn't put Ironheart on this. If from the first 3 episodes, I would probably rank her right above Miss Marvel and under the... Actually, I think I would rank Ironheart right now under Miss Marvel at number 5 and over Secret Invasions. But I gotta wait until I see the last 3 episodes to really put it on here. But that is my rankings of the Disney Plus shows. We can go over them. Here it is. Number 1, Daredevil. 2, What If. 3, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. 4, Miss Marvel. 5, Secret Invasions. 6, Echo. 7, Moon Knight. 8, WandaVision. 9, She-Hulk. 10, Hawkeye. And I didn't watch Loki or Agatha, so that's why they're not on the list. Tell me what y'all think. What are y'all rankings of these Disney Plus series? I definitely want to hear that. What are y'all rankings? I want y'all to argue with me about my rankings too. If it's trash, let me know. Some comics. We're going to talk about something I think we should revisit. Us as DC fans, and DC needs to revisit, bro. The new age of heroes. The new age of heroes that DC line, the DC line they started out, it had Immortal Men, it had the Silencer, it had Sideways, it had Damage, Brimstone, I believe also the Terrific series, the Miss Terrific series, that one lasted the longest of those. Like there was a whole line of DC comics where of course people were like, yeah, they're just biting off Marvel, which they were. Let's just be honest. They really were biting off Marvel with some of these series. Like Sideways was kind of like a Spider-Man type character. Damage, Hulk. The Terrifics was like the Fantastic Four, but in my opinion, better because I've never been a Fantastic Four fan. And they got Mr. Terrific as the head man, of course. I can't remember who the other people were supposed to be. I think Brimstone was supposed to be something like, I think Ghost Rider or something like that. But it was a line of DC heroes, brand new heroes that started out. That was really dope. Like they were very interesting characters, very new characters. Even though people said they were basically copies of Marvel, they were still standalone characters. They still had their very interesting stories that we could have followed. And then that literally just fell. Like they went nowhere with that. Like we don't see Damage, we don't see Silence. I think we see Sideways every now and then. Like stuff from that era is just dead, and that was actually good. I think DC did a bad job of like continuing it because they had great creative teams and it took the creative teams off halfway. But the era, the new age of DC was so dope and so fresh and so new, and then I'm so mad that they couldn't continue with it, and they should have continued with it. Like those were new heroes that we could have got. That like Silencer was dope hero with a dope power where she can make the immediate area around her silent. Like, bro, like that is fire. Like they could have continued with stuff like that, but they didn't. But I think us as fans should revisit it, reread it, also redo reviews on it, and also DC should revisit it and bring these characters back, even if it's miniseries. All right. But that continues me to a miniseries talk that I want to have, and it's a bigger talk that I want to have, but it's basically around miniseries and stuff like that. So I talked a little bit about how Marvel, in my last podcast, I talked about how Marvel did these miniseries with like Moon Knight and Shang-Chi, where like it's these miniseries where it's like 5 to 8. It has a definitive start and finish. They stop that, and then they will continue the stories with another miniseries that starts over at number 1. That kind of just continues afterwards, but it's a brand new story where you can start and finish with that story too. And I think that miniseries format should have gone for the New Age of Heroes. I think they tried to make it as an ongoing series that ended up getting canceled, which I think they should have did as a miniseries, do like season 1, season 2, season 3, and see where it goes after that. I think we would have got better stories and people would have liked it more, and it would have had an easier jump on point. But I think that could have helped the New Age of Heroes for DC. But I also think that could help other series that they're not doing, like their black characters. I think these miniseries could definitely help their black characters. They did this with the Milestone universe. They had season 1 and 2 of Static, but we haven't got nothing of that. We also had season 1 of like Hardware, Icon, and Rocket, but only one that got a season 2, I believe, is Static, and we haven't gotten more of that, which makes me mad. Which is also, all these topics go together. The New Age of Heroes, Milestone, the miniseries, all these kind of went together for me, so I lumped them in. But I think black characters could definitely could benefit off these miniseries. I think like they did one with Black Lightning, a little miniseries that could easily continue more later into further on, and then start it over with a number 1, because number 1 sell. Get the number 1 and then do the miniseries again. Like I think that format should be used, especially for black characters that you're worried about not selling, which is also a conversation that you're worried about them not selling, that you can do these little miniseries. You did it with Shang-Chi and Moon Knight, and I think those were a huge success. So I think you could definitely do that again. And I think it will help these characters. It's definitely Milestone. This conversation this all gets lumped together because Milestone, we might need to take that away from DC. That's why I thought we would get more. So I thought when they were doing the kind of the seasons, which is kind of like miniseries for the Milestone and Earth M, like season 1 of Icon and Rocket, like I mentioned, Hardware and Static. I think doing the seasons, I thought was going to help these characters get more storylines instead of ongoing to where it's like number 25 and stuff like that. I thought this would help like doing 5, starting over number 1, get that number 1 money and then starting over and stuff like that. I thought that would be great for DC, but Milestone just kind of has gone back into obscurity again. It's gone back into the black hole, and I really just don't like that. I don't like that Milestone has dope characters, dope black characters that we're just not talking about. They have a whole universe that has Superman level type character, Iron Man level type genius character, a Spider-Man popularity type character with Static, and they just don't do nothing with it. And I really feel like, I said this also in the last pod where I said I want to watch these sales for comics, because I feel like they're using the sales argument to not push black characters. They're using these sales on, because y'all come up with DC and Marvel come with these very obscure storylines that they do with obscure characters that nobody cares about. Like Peacemaker right now has a comic book run, and I don't know anybody that actually reads Peacemaker. I don't know anybody that talks about reading Peacemaker or anything. When I be seeing people pick up their hauls, I don't be seeing people pick up Peacemaker when it comes out. So like, I feel like they say the sales are bad and that's why they don't do them, but I feel like they could easily do miniseries with black characters, because they do miniseries with other characters that nobody cares about and nobody even talks about. You feel me? So I think, but I also feel like we may need to get Milestone away from DC. Like, Milestone shouldn't possibly be its own thing. It should be its own thing. If y'all not ready to start crossing over these characters with DC, then just let Milestone be its own thing. Let Milestone be Earth M be its really own thing. DC should have nothing to do with it. Nothing with the releases, not with anything of it. Like, there's no way that Image Comics has these characters and stuff like that get long runs, like, that can continue going, but we get crumbs of characters like Static. Like, that's wild to me. Like, it's wild to me that Valiant Comics can push some of the heroes, even though they haven't been pushing them as much lately. Like, Exo Manowar can get a lot of content. Bloodshot can get a lot of content. Ninja K can get a lot of content. But we can't get nothing from Icon and Static. These are characters that have been in live action. These are characters that have been in cartoons. Well, not live action, I'm sorry. These characters have been in cartoons on the big screen and stuff like that. Why can't we get more of the content from them? Why does it always just get stopped? Why are we still waiting for season 3 of Static when season 2 was, like, I think 2 years ago? Like, yeah, I know I lumped in a lot. I lumped in the New Age DC. I lumped in miniseries. I lumped in Milestone. But they all go together for me, where DC is kind of pushing these characters that people don't care about, are giving you these other storylines and stuff like that, give you mad Batman storylines, but we can't really get these other characters in miniseries. We can't get more of them, bro. Like, and I just think that the sales argument is really a cop-out. I think it's definitely a cop-out. I think y'all can definitely make money off these characters, and I think the miniseries way is the miniseries format is the way to go. All right. Now, I just did a lot of rambling, but in conclusion, I think the miniseries formula is fire. I think they should do it more. I think it works. Also, revisit New Age of Heroes. If we're going to do these miniseries things, revisit the New Age of Heroes. And Milestone need to be its own thing. Milestone needs to step away from DC, because DC ain't done nothing for Milestone, it seems like, bro. Like, there should be way more Static content, more Icon and hardware content. Like, I mean, Icon and Rocket, and then there should be more hardware content. Sorry, this makes me mad even talking about this stuff. Yeah, I know I did a lot of rambling, but yeah, those are my points, bro. Let me know how y'all feel in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about this. Do y'all think that the sales argument is a cop-out? Please let me know what y'all think about it in the comments. So, I feel like I did a lot of talking this pod. I know it's just me talking every pod, but I feel like I was doing a lot of ranting this pod, bro. But I want to thank y'all for watching Yo Nerd Podcast. This is episode 5, and I'm telling you, United Champions ready to come on in 15 minutes. So, thank y'all for watching this episode of Yo Nerd Podcast, episode 5, and please like, subscribe, and comment. And please comment. I've been giving some topics that I really want to talk about, that I want to argue about. I want to get like the long back and forth 100 comment arguments. You feel me? Them heated arguments. The ones where we say 100 comments back and forth and just agree to disagree. I love those arguments. They're great. They go nowhere, but they're fun to have. But so please, I put a lot of topics in these podcast episodes I want to talk about, as you know, nerds, blurs, whatever. So please visit the comments and let's talk about it, y'all. But thank you for watching Yo Nerd Podcast episode 5. Peace.